You know, every parent dreams of raising kids who are confident, resilient, happy. It's like the universal goal, right?
Absolutely.
But in today's world, wow, it's fast-paced, it can feel overwhelming, and honestly, that dream sometimes feels like this huge, daunting challenge.
It really can. Knowing where to start is tough.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive into a really insightful guide. It's called Raising Mentally Strong Kids.
Ah, yes. By Dr. Daniel Amen and Dr. Charles Fay.
That's the one. Dr. Eamon, the neuropsychiatrist, and Dr. Fay, the child psychologist, they've pooled their vast experience in evidence-based strategies.
It's a powerful combination of perspectives. Brain science meets practical parenting.
For sure. And our mission today is basically to give you, the listener, a practical roadmap, actionable stuff.
A shortcut.
Yeah, shortcut to understanding how to turn those everyday parenting challenges into pathways for growth, confidence, strong relationships for your kids.
We want you to walk away with some real insights and tools you can use right away.
Okay, so let's unpack the really core idea here first, because I think it's kind of a game changer.
Hmm.
This whole deep dive really hinges on the idea that mental strength, like real mental strength, starts with a healthy brain.
It's fundamental. And what's fascinating is how they frame it. Mental health is brain health. It sounds so simple.
Right, but easily overlooked.
Totally. The book really hammers home that when your brain works right, you work right. It affects everything.
Everything, like decision making.
Decision-making, emotional control, how kids handle stress, their relationships, school performance. It all comes back to brain function.
Yeah.
It's the engine room.
And this isn't just for grown-ups. Their point is that kids' brains are incredibly dynamic. They're developing like crazy right up until their mid-20s.
Exactly. Think about all those stages: prenatal, toddlerhood, elementary school, the teen years.
Especially that prefrontal cortex development in the teens and early adulthood. The part for planning, impulse control, judgment.
Right. And every single one of those stages is massively influenced by environment, experiences, relationships, everything.
So how do they suggest making this tangible for parents and kids?
Well, they lay out 7 key brain principles. Things like your brain is involved in everything you do. When your brain works right, you work right. Your brain is amazing. Love it.
Yeah?
And also principles about avoiding things that harm the brain and doing things that help it. But the 7th one, that one really hits home for me.
Which one's that?
You can change your brain and change your life.
Ah, neuroplasticity.
Precisely. It's not just wishful thinking. Our brains can adapt, they can rewire. It offers so much hope, right? Even if a child is struggling, positive change is possible with the right approach.
I love that they make it practical too, like suggesting a game, Chloe's game, where kids learn to ask, is this good for my brain or bad for it?
Yeah, it gives kids a sense of agency over their own brain health, makes it concrete.
And they use that 4 circles framework too, right, to make it
Mhm.
comprehensive.
Yes. The 4 circles of mental strength: biological, psychological, social, and spiritual.
Okay, break those down a bit.
So biological is the physical stuff.
Yeah.
Diet, sleep, exercise, actual brain care. Psychological is about thoughts, feelings, managing emotions. A&Ts, we'll get to those.
ANTs.
Social is relationships, support systems, connection. And spiritual is about having a sense of purpose, meaning, values.
And the idea is they all connect.
They're totally interconnected. An imbalance in one circle, say poor sleep in the biological, is going to affect the psychological, maybe more irritability, poor focus. It all feeds together.
So for parents listening, getting this link, brain health equals mental health, behavior stems from the brain, it's not just interesting info, it's step one.
It's the absolute foundation for parenting effectively and really fostering that mental strength we all want for our kids.
Okay, now here's where it gets really, really interesting for day-to-day parenting. The book kind of boils down effective parenting into just 2 words.
Firm and kind.
Firm and kind. Sounds simple, maybe too simple, but they argue it's incredibly powerful.
It really is the essence, they say, of great parents.
Right.
And they contrast it really effectively with styles that, well, miss the mark.
Like the extremes.
Exactly. You've got helicopter parents. Loving, absolutely. But often so permissive, they accidentally, rob their kids of the chance to build resilience.
They solve everything for them.
Right. Leading to kids who might struggle with self-reliance, maybe even seem a bit narcissistic because they haven't had to face many obstacles themselves.
And the other end?
The drill sergeants. Hostile and firm. They get compliance, sure, but it's often through fear.
Which breeds anxiety. Or rebellion.
Yeah, it ultimately disempowers kids internally. And then there are the uninvolved parents who are sort of hostile and permissive, which basically amounts to neglect.
So firm and kind is the sweet spot, the consultant parent, they call it.
That's the ideal, yeah. Loving and firm, empowering kids to take responsibility, make choices within clear boundaries while being supportive.
Okay, but let's be real. In the heat of the moment, like mid-tantrum, finding that balance, it's tough. How do you stop kind from becoming permissive or firm from turning into angry?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The book offers a great mental shift. Remember, kind means empathetic and respectful, validating the feeling, not necessarily the behavior.
Okay, so I see you're mad, not, okay, fine, you can have the cookie.
Exactly. And firm means consistent and calm about the boundary, not yelling or getting punitive. So I see you're really upset right now. That's the kind part. And the answer is still no. That's the firm part.
That distinction is huge. Validate the emotion, hold the limit.
It makes all the difference.
But okay, even if you nail the firm and kind style, they say it doesn't work without a strong relationship underneath it all.
Absolutely fundamental. They put it so clearly. Kids won't bond with your values unless they first bond with you.
Wow. Say that again.
Kids won't bond with your values unless they first bond with you. That connection is everything.
So it's not just about niceness, it's strategic for teaching values.
Totally. A strong bond literally helps shape healthier brain development, helps kids cope with stress better, improves learning, reduces risky behaviors. The list goes on.
And if that bond isn't there?
Kids are much more likely to push back, develop oppositional values, maybe engage in unhealthy behaviors. The relationship truly is the vessel.
They give those 5 messages for relationship building too. Things like, we notice you, we value your feelings.
Yes, and we value and accept what you think. You are capable and you are worth protecting. Each one builds a different layer of trust and connection.
That you are capable one. Encouraging self-reliance. It's so easy to jump in, but stepping back and letting them try, then praising the effort. That builds real confidence.
It really does. And for a super practical strategy, they champion special time.
Just 20 minutes a day.
Yep, 20 minutes daily doing something your child enjoys. The key is positive interaction with zero criticism or direction from you.
No agenda, just connect.
Just connect. It sounds almost too simple, but taking that parental agenda off the table for just that short time, it builds that bond in a way lectures or instructions never ever could.
So these shifts the parenting style, focusing on the relationship. How does that build mental strength?
It creates the environment, a space where a child feels safe, feels valued, feels seen. And when they feel that, they're ready to learn, to grow, to take on challenges. That's where the strength comes from.
Okay, building on that foundation of relationship and style, let's talk about guiding behavior. Setting kids up for success. Every parent wants that.
And it really starts with goals. Goals give direction, right? They help kids and adults focus on positive activities instead of just drifting or getting stuck in negativity.
And it's not just goals for the kids. The book says parents need goals too.
Yes. Goals for yourself as a parent, like my goal is to teach responsibility or my goal is to model good character. They even suggest that one-page miracle exercise.
The OPM. Tell me more.
It's basically a personal roadmap for the parent. Writing down your own objectives for family, work, finances, health. The idea is, if you're intentional about your own life, you're better equipped to guide your kids. You model it.
That makes sense. And for kids' goals, the key is not imposing them.
Right. Help them set their own goals. Ask guiding questions like, what's something you'd like to get better at? Or what would make school more fun for you? Empower them.
And the research backs this up, right? Writing goals down makes a difference.
A huge difference in actually achieving them.
Okay, so from goals, we naturally get to limits and rules. Sometimes a tough topic.
Definitely. But they argue limits aren't about being mean or controlling. They're essential. They guide behavior, create safety, actually express love.
And they connect it back to the brain again.
They do. Consistent, fair limits actually help develop the brain's stress response system, the HPA axis, in a healthy way. So kids learn to manage stress better.
The analogy they use is great. Limits are like
guardrails on a winding mountain road. Perfect, isn't it? Keeping kids safe as they navigate life.
So how do you set those guardrails effectively?
Consistency is king. Be firm. Once a limit is set, stick to it. Don't negotiate after the fact.
Expect pushback, though, right? The extinction bursts.
Oh, yeah. Expect resistance, especially at first. But persistence pays off. And have those neutral responses ready, like, I love you too much to argue, shuts down the debate.
And controlling your own reaction is vital.
Crucial. Keep calm. Make sure limits are actually enforceable with consequences you can follow through on. And the secret weapon,
Empathy.
empathy. Always empathy. A little empathy goes a long way. Helps kids feel understood even when they don't get their way. Reduces that resistance massively.
Which leads us to discipline, which often gets a bad rap, sounds like punishment.
But it shouldn't. The Latin root of discipline actually means teaching, instruction, learning. It's about guidance, not punishment.
Okay, so how do you teach through discipline?
The core idea is helping kids learn from small mistakes when the consequences are, well, affordable, not waiting until the stakes are much higher.
Like the Amelia and the broken lamp story.
Exactly. Instead of just grounding her or yelling, the parent showed empathy. Wow, you must be frustrated that broke, and then guided her to solve the problem. How could she fix it or pay for it?
So it became a lesson in responsibility, not just fear.
A powerful lesson, learned through problem solving, not just punishment.
The book lists 5 goals for discipline. Learning those low-cost consequences now seems like a really big one.
It's huge. Prepare them for later challenges.
Yeah.
The whole system is principle-based. Model the behavior you want. Allow affordable mistakes. Show empathy, not anger or lectures. Provide chances to solve problems. And use consequences that are logically connected to the mistake.
So it builds internal self-discipline, not just following rules because they're scared.
That's the goal. True internal strength and self-reliance.
So putting these together, goals, limits, loving discipline, it's not just behavior management, it's actively constructing that mental fortitude.
Exactly. You're giving them lifelong tools.
Okay, so beyond those core foundations, the brain, the relationship, the guidance, this deep dive also gives us tools for navigating the real world, life's challenges.
Yeah, equipping kids for what's out there. And a big part of that is building resilience through struggles.
Not shielding them from everything.
Right. They used the 3 little pigs, which is brilliant. The pig who built the strong house had faced challenges. Kids learn to cope when they actually face difficulties. Parents stepping in too quickly prevents that learning.
The phrase they use is great. All living things need manageable struggle to grow.
And reach their potential. But the key word there is manageable. It's not about overwhelming stress. It's about the right amount of challenge with the right amount of support.
Finding that balance.
Exactly. And Dr. Fay has that 5-step process for guiding kids to own and solve their own problems.
Remind me.
Provide empathy first. Then prompt them for solutions. Maybe suggest some options if they're stuck. Help them figure out actions. And then let them choose and act.
Empowering them to solve it.
Then there's the whole concept of mental hygiene and Dr. Amen's famous acronym.
ANTs, automatic negative thoughts. I love that term.
D2. He came up with it back in the 90s. These negative thoughts that just infest your mind like ants at a picnic and steal your happiness.
What are some common ones?
Oh, there are lots. Just the bad ANTs, only seeing the negative, blaming ANTs, it's always someone else's fault. All or nothing ANTs, thinking in black and white extremes. Fortune-telling ANTs, predicting disaster.
Guilt-beating, labeling, mind-reading.
Yeah, lots of ways our brains can trick us into feeling bad. The key is teaching kids to recognize them, catch them.
Even young kids, like 4 years old.
Absolutely. Teach them to question the thoughts. Is that really true? Is there another way to see this? Challenge the ANT. Step on it.
And gratitude is the antidote.
A surefire antidote, they say. Making gratitude a regular practice really helps push back against that negativity.
And this all loops back beautifully to the body, right? Healthy bodies, stronger minds.
Always. Eat right to think right. Simple, but profound.
The book has those 9 food rules. Things like getting enough protein, good quality calories, eating often, avoiding too much sugar and artificial stuff, staying hydrated.
Crucial for brain function. Sure. Plus, physical activity. Enough sleep that 7 to 10 hours is key for kids. And basic stress management, like deep breathing or visualization. Simple things make a big difference.
And then the big modern one, technology, screens, addiction.
Huge challenge. They call technology a chainsaw.
That chainsaw.
Powerful tool for good if used carefully. Right. But incredibly harmful if misused. And just relying on filters and tech safeguards,
Yeah.
that gives a false sense of security.
So what's the real protection?
Strengthening the kid's own brain, that prefrontal cortex, through sleep, exercise goals, building that strong relationship so your influence matters, modeling good tech habits yourself, setting firm, loving limits around screen time, and good old-fashioned supervision.
It's about proactive parenting, not just passive blocking.
Exactly. Building their internal controls.
You know, these aren't just problems to be managed, they're actually opportunities.
Opportunities to teach really profound life skills. Critical thinking, emotional regulation, resilience skills they'll use forever.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. But life isn't always neat. What about when the parenting picture gets messy? Complex family dynamics.
That's such an important part of the book because, yeah, life happens. And when parents have different styles, that's super common.
And stressful for everyone, especially the kids.
Definitely causes anxiety and confusion. But here's the kicker the book makes. The conflict over the different styles does way more damage than the different styles themselves.
Ah, so it's the fighting about it, not necessarily that mom is stricter than dad sometimes.
Precisely. The key isn't becoming clones of each other. It's presenting a united front, learning to really listen to your partner, understanding the power struggles, ending your part in them.
Taking responsibility for your side of the contract.
Yes. Yeah. Demonstrating loving leadership, revisiting your shared goals for the kids, and actually making a plan for how you'll handle common disagreements together.
That takes work, but worth it.
Immensely. And these core ideas, empathy, boundaries, focusing on what you control, they apply elsewhere too, like divorce.
How do you keep parenting healthy then?
Focus ruthlessly on what you can control. Your own behavior, your emotional stability,
Yeah.
maintain routines, communicate differences respectfully without bad-mouthing the other parent. Be consistent. And be aware of things like parental alienation syndrome.
The advice is basically be healthy and be a class act.
Exactly. Be the stable anchor for your child.
What about step parenting? That's tricky territory.
Super tricky. The primary role, they suggest, is modeling healthy boundaries first. Build respect before jumping into a big disciplinarian role.
Earn trust first.
Right. They use the example of Healthy Henry, a step-parent who shows love, holds boundaries, lets the kids solve their own problems when appropriate, and listens way more than he talks.
That makes a lot of sense. Build the relationship capital first.
Definitely. And these ideas even extend to adult children, or adults who might still be acting like children sometimes.
How so? What's the principle there?
It comes down to, we teach people how to treat us by what we tolerate.
Ooh, powerful.
Isn't it? Guidance for adult kids means caring, modeling, offering wisdom if asked, but not controlling or constantly rescuing them from consequences.
Hey, back to those love and logic ideas. Mutual dignity, shared thinking.
Yes, shared control. Empathy. It's about setting firm, healthy limits for yourself, what you will and won't do, while still offering emotional support, even if they push back initially.
Maintaining your own well-being while still being supportive.
That's the balance. This whole section really shows how adaptable these principles are. They offer real hope and strategy for almost any family situation, no matter how complex it feels.
Okay, wow. We have covered so much ground today, from the brain being the foundation,
To the power of being firm and kind.
the absolute necessity of that strong relationship,
Setting those goals and limits, using discipline as teaching,
equipping kids with mental hygiene, like fighting off those antis, building resilience.
and figuring out how to apply it all, even when things get complicated with technology or family dynamics.
It's a lot, but it feels incredibly empowering.
It really is. And that core message is worth repeating.
Yeah.
You can change your brain and change your life.
Yeah.
And as a parent, by using these strategies consistently,
You can make a huge difference in your child's well-being and their future.
a profound difference.
So here's a final thought for you to take away and maybe mull over this week. Perhaps the greatest gift we give our kids isn't just trying to make them happy all the time. Maybe it's giving them the mental strength, the fortitude to find their own happiness, especially when things get tough.
Building that internal capacity.
Exactly. So the question is, what's one small, consistent step you can take this week to help foster that kind of resilience in your child, even if it means letting them struggle just a tiny bit?
Letting them grapple with a small challenge, knowing you're there, but letting them work through it.
Yeah. Knowing that small struggle is actually building their strength. Something to think about.
Definitely. And remember, this deep dive, it's really just the start.
Keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep putting these powerful ideas into practice. You've got this. Raise those mentally strong